Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. July 7th. And letting go of it. Primarily fear that we would lose something we already possessed or would fail to get something we demanded. Living upon a basis of unsatisfied demands, we were in a state of continual disturbance and frustration. Therefore, no peace was to be had unless we could find a means of reducing these demands. The difference between a demand and a simple request is plain to anyone. A quote from 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 76. Peace is possible for me only when I let go of expectations. When I'm trapped in thoughts about what I want and what should be coming to me, I'm in a state of fear or anxious anticipation, and this is not conducive to emotional sobriety. I must surrender over and over to the reality of my dependence on God, for then I find peace, gratitude, and spiritual security. Courage to Change One Day at a Time in Al-Anon, July 7th. I thought that in every conflict, in every confrontation, someone was invariably at fault. It was essential to assign blame, and I would stew for hours weighing the evidence. I became a chronic scorekeeper. Because I approached every situation with this attitude, I was consumed by guilt and anger. Defensive and anxious, I made sure my own back was always covered. Al-Anon helps me understand that disputes come up even when everyone is doing their best. Obsessively reviewing everyone's behavior focuses my attention where it doesn't belong and keeps me too busy to have any serenity. Instead, I can consider the part I have played. If I have made mistakes, I am free to make amends. Today, I know that conflict is not necessarily an indication that someone is wrong. Difficulties may just arise. Sometimes people simply disagree. Today's reminder. Today I accept that each life has its share of conflict. It is not my job to document every such incident. Instead of wringing my hands and pointing my finger, I can consider the possibility that everything is happening exactly as it should. Sometimes blame is just an excuse to keep busy so that I don't have to feel the discomfort of my powerlessness. There is a quote from Josiah G. Holland, and it reads, "The mind grows by what it feeds on." Just for today, Daily Meditations for Recovering Addicts, July 7th. God in each other. One aspect of our spiritual awakening comes through the new understanding of our higher power that we develop by sharing another addict's recovery. Basic text, page 52. We've heard it said that we often see God most clearly in one another. We see the truth of this when we practice our 12th step. When we carry the recovery message to another addict, we sense the presence of a power greater than ourselves. And as we watch the message take hold, we realize something else. It's the message that brings recovery, not the messenger. A higher power, not our own power, is the source of the change that begins when we carry the message to a still suffering addict. As the message does its work, transforming the life of another addict, we see a higher power in action. We watch as acceptance and hope replace denial and despair. Before our very eyes, the first traces of honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness begin to appear. Something's happening inside this person, something bigger and more powerful than either of us. We're watching the God we've come to understand at work in someone's life. We see the higher power in them, and we know with greater certainty than ever that this higher power is in us too, as the force driving our recovery. Just for today, as I carry the message of recovery to other addicts, I will try to pay attention to the power behind the message. Today, as I watch other addicts recover, I will try to recognize the God in them so I can better recognize the God in myself. Today, Emotions Anonymous, July 7th. Reflection for today. After I had been in the program for a while and was still impatient with my growth, emotionally as well as spiritually, I had to realize I had probably neglected to see the small positive changes occurring within me. At first, I had to look hard to find those small positive changes, which later grew into giant positive changes. Now I realize those changes were there all along. Because I was not satisfied with them, I discounted the little seeds which just needed more water and warm sunshine, EA, to grow. Those seeds were permanently planted no matter what I believed, and yet I still became frustrated because I was tired of my shortcomings and wanted a miracle, which was to become well right then and there. I had no patience with my very slow progress. Meditation for today. May I have trust and faith that I will be better if I take action and search for what I need. Today I will remember. I can feel better about myself just knowing I am at least trying to improve. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families. July 7th. People pleasing. By transforming our people pleasing manner, we do not stop caring about others. However, we stop going over the line to ensure that we are never abandoned. BRB, page 112. As children, we looked to others, such as our parents or teachers, for approval. Doing so often kept us safe. Over time, this practice taught us to abandon our own sense of worth in favor of someone else's external measure of our value. Without others' approval, we felt like failures. Through ACA, we learned to listen to our own inner loving parent's voice, no longer needing to rely on others to give us a sense of ourselves. We learn to be true to ourselves, acting in ways that are aligned with the core values, beliefs, and feelings that are becoming part of us. We seek no one's approval but our own. We sometimes find that our new actions may cause conflict with others, but with confidence in our new inner compass and no longer fearing abandonment, we hold fast to our beliefs, speak our truths, and strengthen our sense of self. We no longer need external forces to justify our existence. The affirmation reads, "On this day I will listen to my inner loving parent and know that is all the approval I need for my thoughts and actions." Share, subscribe, like, and most of all, be the you that you are created to be. And remember that you are not alone, one day at a time.